Torghast is going to get massive upgrades. I think Torghast has a good enough foundation that Blizzard can really start building upon it. So I think we can expect huge announcements within Torghast and what's being added to Torghast as a max level zone. Now, what do I want to see being added to Torghast? Because I think that is something we sort of have to talk about. I do not think the current system that Blizzard runs within Torghast works. The fact that you have to climb 18 floors before you unlock the next layer, right? Or before you get any sort of reward, I don't think works. The mobs themselves should drop some kind of currency that you can use with venari. So that even if you fail at level 11 or level 12, it wasn't a completely wasted run. You don't leave there going, fuck, I've just wasted an hour of my life, right? You should be getting things as you progress through it that still makes it worthwhile, that still gives you a currency that you can buy pets or mounts with or do something with, outside of just the end. You have to finish the run in order to actually get in order to get the rewards, right? I also hate the way the Twisting Corridors was done. The fact that you get a set reward every 2 layers that you do, that felt really bad. For some reason, and this is weird that I'm arguing for it, I would have preferred a bigger loot table and randomized drops based on the last boss that you fight. So it should be a massive loot table with a bunch of different mount skins and a bunch of different transmogs and a bunch of different things that you can get. And whenever you kill that final boss and you loot that boss, there's an opportunity to get something really cool from this boss, a mount or a pet or a this or a that. So killing that final boss is the reward. It's not just completing the layer, that's the reward. Killing the final boss is the reward. And that also gives you a lot of more rerun possibilities, right? Because now, just killing the first layer of the boss doesn't mean that that's the only reward that you're going to get. There's, say, 10 more rewards that is in that boss or in that first layer. That just gives you more incentives to run the layers. So that's sort of something that I think would have been so much better, right? At least for me, that would have been a lot better system overall. Rerun is the key. You're very correct, Pumanki. That's exactly the point. If Torghast can't be rerun for the fun of it, then you've really failed the system, right? Aikiru, then what? Do you just want them to give it to you for free? Because the whole point of a roguelike system is that you keep running it and hopefully get the rewards that you need, right? So at the end of the day, having it be redoable for people who really want the rewards that's in there, and that's why I never said power rewards, right? None of the rewards that drops within Torghast should increase your power in any way, shape, or form. It should always just be transmoggable, like anything cosmetic. That's fine. So people who want to run it, they can run it. People who don't, they don't, right? I do think that Torghast will get more complexity to it. So I think we can expect the next version of Torghast to have things like secret rooms, like secret passages, like maybe shortcuts. So if you really explore, you can find a shortcut to something. Maybe you can find a cow level, so to speak, right? Where you get massive powers, but you would need to explore in order to get that. So it's not just something that's going to be given to you. There's going to be some, because right now there really is no need to explore Torghast. It's extremely linear. So I do think Blizzard has the, like I said, the foundation is already there. It just now needs to be built upon. Hopefully Blizzard doesn't give up on it. That's like my biggest fear. How many people in chat right now think that there's a chance that Blizzard could just give up on the whole system? Not saying giving up as in just leaving the system. I'm saying giving up and just keeping it the way that it is and let people just fucking hate it and, you know, it's fine. It's just there, right? I'm not saying give up as in just fucking decide never to do it again. Target system with visions of Orgrimmar. So personally, I don't think Blizzard will give up. But I did want to ask chat what you guys thought because I wanted to get sort of what people where people's minds are at. Now, I'm one of the people that love Torghast. I think Torghast is an absolute amazing system. I think Torghast has everything it needs to have in order to become one of the best features Blizzard have ever introduced into the game. But it needs to be more. It needs to be harder. It needs to be more involved. It needs to be more rewarding. The problem right now is for some classes it's extremely hard, but the rewards really isn't worth the effort. It needs to be harder, so there needs to be a step up in difficulty, but it needs to reward that step up in difficulty. I feel like there's a lot of classes that's very boring inside Torghast as well. So, for example, Affliction Warlocks and Destruction Warlocks is ridiculously boring. The powers that you get as an Affliction Warlock and a Destruction Warlock, it doesn't make you go, oh my god, look at these powers that I just got. Demonology Warlock is the only one that's really fun because your demons start hitting like an absolute fucking monster, just one-shotting things, right? And that's actually quite fun, but the other classes is really not that good. So there are classes that need a lot of love within Torghast that I think we will see. Torghast is pretty cool. There's just no motivation to run it after the mount, and I feel like more complex boss abilities instead of one-shot abilities would be increasing the fun. Xiang, 100% agree with you. I think it should be a mini raid experience whenever you enter into it, right? Okay, they have had to change it and more is needed because when it came out, there were bosses that were literally unkillable solo. There were bosses if you were a tank, you could not beat. There were bosses if you didn't have tons of interrupts, you could not beat. Blizzard literally said, hey, 2 hours wasted on RNG, have fun. Islith, I understand what you mean, but remember, there's been changes since then to sort of fix that. But the whole point now is, we have to decide, can you guys look past your hatred for Torghast and look at the foundation of Torghast and see why this system has the potential to become an amazing system? Or is there some of you that just goes, no, fuck this system, I never want to see the system again? Alright, so I think most of us actually agree that the one thing that's missing from Torghast is maybe a little bit more of a difficulty check. So a bit more of a skill check rather than just, did I get the right powers? I think there's a severe limitation within the powers as well. There's not enough build paths for different classes. So if you get a bunch of horrible powers, there's really no way to make a build out of that. And I know, I've run Torghast to the point where I keep getting the worst possible abilities. And then you just don't have a build, right? There's no build because there's not enough build pathways. So I do think Blizzard needs to add potentially 5 or 6 different build paths for every single class, so that even if you don't get the one ability, you can, based on the first 2 layers or first 2 levels of Torghast, based on those abilities, you can start fleshing out a new build path and eventually be strong enough to take down the bosses. It needs a lot more skill check so that you actually feel like you are being challenged. But then, like I said, rewards is the big issue for me within it, right? There's not enough reward, and the fact that the reward only lies at the completion of the level is, in my opinion, perhaps one of the biggest issues with Torghast. If I completed 8 floors in layer 8 and I fail on the 9th floor, I should not have nothing to show for my 20 or 25 minutes inside Torghast. Someone else earlier in chat said something about it should be capped at 30 minutes per run. I don't think that's necessary. I think you could have it 2 hours per run, as long as every minute spent inside that run gives you rewards. So every boss that you kill gives you a currency. Every mob that you kill gives you a currency. So even if you fail, you have things to show for it. There was a reason why you were there. There's something that you can do moving forward. I think venari's upgrades, permanent upgrades within Torghast, needs to be fleshed out more. We need way more options for permanent upgrades. And I would like to see exclusive upgrades from venari. Chat, do you understand what I'm talking about when I say that? And I'm not asking because I think you guys are stupid. I'm asking because I'm not sure if I'm explaining it correctly. Shorter time or real worthwhile rewards, like you're saying? Do you guys understand what I'm talking about when I say venari should have exclusive rewards? Exclusive upgrades Will make venari a bit more alt-friendly. So what I'm talking about is, imagine if venari had 25, right? 25 different upgrades. But some upgrades would not work with other upgrades. So if you took one of the upgrades for Torghast, you immediately couldn't take 2 others. So suddenly it becomes a game of, wait a second, how do I want to play Torghast? Maybe I want to take the damage reduction, or maybe I want to take the healing increase, or maybe I want to take the one that buffs my Chaos Bolt. So I automatically have extra upgrades, extra damage on my Chaos Bolt within Torghast. Maybe I want to take the one that gives me movement speed or something like that. So suddenly, even venari would sell player talents, exactly. She sells a player talent that you use only inside Torghast. You don't get to use it anywhere else. It's only in Torghast that you get to use those powers, but you can only unlock this through a currency that you get inside Torghast. Andy, when it comes to Torghast, I don't think you can have the same because it's not as competitive. So with Torghast, yes, there's going to be min-maxers who do that, and that's fine. You're never going to fix that. There's no point in trying to design your game to combat the min-maxers. You have to understand they're going to be there. There's nothing you can do about it, right? But in a game, in a mini game inside the game like Torghast that isn't very competitive, you will get people that play around with the talents and maybe do something unique and different and fun, because why not? Right? I'm only in here for myself. I'm not in here for anyone else. I'm just doing it for me, right? And so just allowing people to have more exclusive content and exclusive talents, I think, would be a good thing. That's the way roguelikes should work, right? Remember, if you want to hang out and discuss these things in real time, Twitch, link in the description down below, every Tuesday to Friday, or every Sunday right here on YouTube. More importantly, or actually, you could also join the Discord. There is conversations like this and more happening every day, every minute of every day. The Discord is popping off, and you are missing out if you're not on there. So, let's go. That's GG then.